start line for the Diamond Single Sculls, open men's single sculls race here. Philip Pfeifer of Slovenia at the top of your screen. Dodd of Denmark on the right of your screen.
Pfeifer on the right-hand side there, one of, I think, 5 single scullers who we expect to see competing for their nation at the Paris Olympics. And wonderful to see such depth of Olympic calibre here at Henley Royal Regatta, despite the fact that the Paris Games start in just over 3 weeks' time. So he'll be keen to put in a good performance here, but at the moment, it is Dodd of Denmark, or I should actually reframe that, sorry, it is Pfeifer who is leading on the Berkshire station.
And great calibre and pedigree of both of these scullers, actually. Both raced internationally, both seasoned athletes. But again, on the start line, if you're coming up against someone that's about to go and race in Paris in a few weeks' time, that's a hard ask, isn't it, Tom?
Well, you'd expect their programme to be peaking in the next couple of weeks, and you'd expect them to be pretty close to full fitness, full form, and interesting, as I say, to see so many Paris-bound scullers coming over to get one final run down a competitive course just before the Paris Games. And Pfeifer from Slovenia, one of a number of scullers who I think will be vying for the chance to face Ollie Zeidler in the final.
Can I ask you, Tom, why would you come to Henley a few weeks before the Olympics? What's the draw of coming here? How does it fit into their training programme?
Well, it's funny you say that. I actually caught up with Mahe Drysdale just before the regatta, who was talking to me about when he came in 2016 and lost to Hannes Abreno in the final, but as far as he was concerned, he got everything he wanted out of the trip. It was a chance to race different points in the course, to get some exposure to that sort of unique one-on-one side-by-side racing, but also to get a chance on bumpy water. And in Rio particularly, and I'm understood to believe, or led to believe, that Paris is something similar, that the water is a little bit choppy, the water is unsettled. And here at Henley, it's very difficult to row on. And that means that these scullers often want to come here to try themselves and test themselves on bumpy water, so that when they arrive in Paris, ready to race, they're battle ready, they're good to go.
Some great insider knowledge there, thanks for that, Tom. And yeah, these guys are using this as part of their training programme, but right now looks pretty strong for Philippe Pfeifer, Slovenia. A little bit of a headwind now, we're slowing them down a little bit, isn't it, out there on the course?
Yeah, definitely the wind picking up. We expect that through the curvature of the day. He looks like he's enjoying himself, a little smile on his face. Of course, he's had a good season already, 8th at the 2nd World Rowing Cup in Lucerne and 9th in Poznan just 3 weeks ago. So a sculler with form. Not sure he'll be in final contention at the Olympics, but see how he develops. And if he does get a chance to race Zeidler, there's no better barometer than racing the world champion.
Shot there, James Dodd, Denmark. Tall rower, got a range in his stroke. Mouth open, he's gasping for a bit of air there. It's all by yourself in the single scull. No one, no rhythm, no other crew members, no one telling you what to do, just you and your limit.
Yeah, he's jumped back in the single, actually. He spent a bit of time in it last summer at the Hollenbecker, the Ratzeburg Regatta, and then was in the quad over the last few months, racing at the Odense long distance, Copenhagen Open Regatta, I should say, and Ratzeburg again, all in the quad. So jumping back in the single for Henley Royal Regatta, clearly couldn't get a crew together to race in the Prince of Wales. But like all things at Henley, it's somewhat dependent on the draw as to how far you can advance, and I think Dodd here just coming up against a sculler who is at the peak of his powers.
Slovenians, if you're watching in Slovenia, sorry they've been kicked out of the Euros, but maybe you can start watching Philip this week, support him for the rest of the week, see how far he can get. Strong rower, Tom. Looks very muscular, doesn't he? He's got a power in that upper body. How does the upper body help in a rowing stroke, though?
Well, it's about leverage. Rowing is so often defined as an arm sport, and it's really not. It's all about the legs. It's all about that physiological capability from the waist down. But the arms just help with the leverage. You need relaxed shoulders, and you can see there, it's so often the case when a sculler gets a bit of an advantage, is able to take the rate down, you can see the tension come out in the shoulders, and it means they can just find their rhythm, find their length, and just enjoy themselves, because actually there's so much going on and off the water at Henley Royal Regatta that the more chance you get to scull the course, the more chance you get to experience the roar of the crowds, the floaters on either side, just the sheer density of people and distraction. This will be a valuable thing for Pfeifer for later rounds, but enjoying a generous clap there from the stewards. I think he's got this one under control.
I must point out to anyone watching, normally an international race, these guys and girls are used to going down a course where probably most of the course no one sees them, and maybe at the end might be a smattering of people. Here at Henley we are packed from start to finish. The people are on the banks cheering you on. You get a different experience, and they're almost within touching distance. Look at that, how close Pfeifer is to the crowds. And as a spectator, it's such a special place. I really encourage anyone to come down here and in the race with these rowers. Come towards the finish line, hear that beep telling Philip Pfeifer he has won his race. He is through for another day. He can breathe, a slight smile on his face. James Dodd crosses the line in second. Second place here means you are out of the competition, and it's a win in the Diamond Challenge Sculls, Pfeifer over Dodd of Denmark.